we must begin to develop, number one, and this is the most important thing we can do as a people. We must first develop an undying love for our people. Our people. Our people.
I can't be a pessimist because I'm alive. To be a pessimist means that you have agreed that human life is an academic matter. So I'm forced to be...
When a man is being criminally treated, that some criminal has the right to tell that man what tactics to use to get the criminal off his back. When a criminal starts misusing me, I am going to use whatever necessary to get that criminal off my back.
I might not be back. I might be in jail. I might be anywhere. But when I leave, you can remember I said with the last words on my lips that I am a revolutionary. And you're going to have to keep on saying that.
Thank you for tapping in this early afternoon. This is the End of the Bench Media. I am HRap B. This is a program called A Few Minutes with HRap. Today's show is called Unbothered. Before I get into it, I do this every day. I want to thank my parents, Dolores and John. Without Dolores and John, there would be no me. You'd be doing something else with your valuable time. So thank you for tapping in. Hit that like, hit that share, tell a friend to tap in, be a part of the program. It is greatly appreciated. If you're not watching this live, go to www.theendofthebench.com and watch it there. You'll see a Black History video, a Black Empowerment video right next to it. You can watch that in its entirety. I show a snippet of it, and it basically highlights other people's work and in the quest of empowering our community and making our grandchildren's great-grandchildren life a little better. Today, again, it is called Unbothered. Why is it called Unbothered? Because I want to salute, before I even get started, I want to hit that like, hit that share, subscribe if you haven't. And I want to say hello and thank you for the support. Today's show was inspired by a sister. That's her. That's her. Her name is Amanda Seals. Amanda Seals consistently goes about the United States of America and potentially the world. She's a celebrity, and she speaks about Black empowerment. She has a master's degree in African American studies, and she did a bang up job. She did an outstanding job about defending our community against white nationalists and that look like us. You had a bunch of people. Some of them weren't even from the United States. Some of them don't know our plight. They just know they know the crust of our history, and they try to determine who and what we are. Amanda slapped it verbally and metaphorically slapped these people around. She gave them a history lesson. She gave them a cultural lesson, and she did a bang up job for standing up for us. I'm thanking her, but I also want to say, hey, Amanda, I wish you would have done something else with your African American studies degree, because you wasted some awesome intellect on some empty-minded people. Amanda, you did a wonderful job, but I wish it would have been a team of young ladies around you and a young man around you, and it would have been able to enhance and it would have enriched them, because that fell on deaf ears, because those people have been brainwashed by white nationalism and Americanism and a bunch of other isms that are anti-Black. I commend you again. I thank you. I have much love for you and respect for you, but I'm tired of us defending ourselves against people who are not on our team. Look, I've never had to convince somebody to be my friend. I've never had to convince somebody to like me. I've never had to convince anyone that I am a high character individual. If I had to convince you of that, that means me and you shouldn't be dealing with each other, because my reputation and how I move should determine that. What we do in this country, in my personal opinion, is this: we allow the people who are in charge, of oppression, discrimination, and all the other isms that are aimed towards our community to determine who and what we are. It is time to end that. It is time for that to come to an end. Please have that come to an end. I'm not going to try to convince anybody that I am worthy of respect, worthy of being treated like a human being, and worthy of the natural course of events that people in America, according to the United States Constitution, life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness, that we deserve and we should be pursuing. I'm not going to do that. I've never done it, and I think we should stop trying, because we have people in this community who allow the people at the top to show 1,000, 500, even 10,000 people acting a fool. They're from our community, and they're not behaving in the best way. They're not the greatest representation of our community. And what we do is say, see, you have to admit, look at those people. And meanwhile, there are 45 to 55 million of us who are doing the right thing. We can no longer allow people to dictate who we are and how we behave and give a sample size or even a teaspoon size of who we are, and then say, hey, this is who we are and this is we need to improve. Does the Black community need to make improvements? Of course, every community in the history of this planet needs to be as good as they can be at all times. But just because I seen 550 or even 1,000 young people acting up, that does not mean that is not representation of all young Black people. That you see some women on the internet that are money grubbing and money hungry and self-centered. Oh no, that's not how Black women are. You see some dudes who don't take care of their children, who are participating in nefarious activities, and they are wayward. That is not representation of Black men in these United States of America. And Black men, Black women, Black children, Black elders, and anybody else in this community and who present themselves as comrades and allies, we don't have to explain that to them. And if for someone who calls themselves an ally, who says that they're proud of who they are, and they say, you must admit, we did see this. Well, okay. Well, you must admit Black people are lazy, because we know some lazy Black people. You must admit that Black people are thieves, but you don't want to admit that. You must admit that that's you. You don't want to admit that because it affects you directly. No. So don't allow someone to take a snapshot and say, see, this is what's wrong with us. No, that's what's wrong with those people. Because you know what? Let's take a snapshot in Black history of the Muhammad Ali's and the Jesse Jacksons and the Paul Robesons and the Coretta Scott Kings and the millions of other Black women and Black men throughout history, the Sojourner Truths. You don't say, hey, that's a representation of us. You don't take that snapshot. So if you're not going to say the best of us is a representation of us, then you damn sure not going to say the worst of us is. You're outside of your mind, I think. And for us to allow people to dictate that to us, it makes us a little suspect as well. We are glorious people. We are fighters. We have overcome some of the most horrific situations in the history of this earth. And like I said the other day, 2 days ago, we still walk around and we smile. We still have the ability to walk up to people, smile, assist people from all walks of life, and without even thinking about it. You can be without and you'll still help. I know people personally who have been in the midst of struggle, and they've welcomed people in that had even less than them. So don't tell me, oh, well, you saw a few young people acting a fool outside of what their parents taught them, and then that's representation of all our children. Because you know what? My children haven't been arrested. My children haven't been strung out on anything. My children are not participating in any nefarious activities. Yours, more than likely, if you're watching this, yours aren't. And if they have gone wayward, guess what? They got back on the path. So I don't want to hear about that anymore. And that's why I have to let people know, look, we should be, when people say, hey, man, y'all need to get over it. You're right. We do. You know, we need to get over the fact that we need to convince someone that we are an awesome community. We need to do that. I'm tired of trying to convince. Have you ever convinced somebody they should date you? Have you ever convinced somebody that they should love you? If somebody said, well, convince me to look that I should, you would probably walk away and be like, man, to hell with you. If somebody said, you know what, are you worthy of my love? If you have anything that resembles self-respect, you should say no and walk away, and then let them stand there. And then in a little while, they'll be one of those people on the internet saying this men or women these days aren't ... Because look, at the end of the day, should somebody have to earn your respect? Yes, respect is earned and given. But disrespect and disregard should never be handed out in a sample size. Because guess what? You might see me in my worst moment. That does not determine who I am. That means in that moment, you don't know what triggered me. You don't know what happened. You don't know what caused that. So I'm not allowing that anymore. What we need to do is realize you're in the race. You're in the race, as Dr. Claude Anderson, you're in the race for power. You're in the race for finance. You're in the race for the amenities that the United States federal government affords you. And you need to be trying to galvanize, come together, immobilize, galvanize, and then organize a method in which we can win that race. We don't need to look to the left. Well, they have it, so we need to have it. And no. What we need to do is when you organize, you'll know exactly what you need. You need excellent academic opportunities. You need excellent vocational opportunities. We need to be forcing our children into finance. We need to be forcing our children into medicine. We need to be forcing our children, well, not forcing them, and introducing them to all these activities that are presented in this world today. Because then we'll win the race. Because if we are even competing in the race, and we are not in last place by no means, we're competing in this race now. And we've been mistreated and disregarded for 40 generations. 40 generations. People have told us we're less than. They've treated us less than animals. They've created hate groups for us. They've created laws to do this. And I suggest this, that we never publicly say it again. We're in a race. And the people who are competing against us in that race, either you can participate with us in regards to humanity, or if you want to make it an individual race, you want to make it the social Olympics, then that's fine as well. Because then at that point, we should be teaching history. We should be teaching what we've gone through. We should create rituals so we can celebrate our past, never forget the downfalls and the pitfalls, and projecting what's in our future. If we're going to win this race, we don't need to. What we need to do is organize in regards to community activities so you can have social standards. And once you create those social standards, then we can push our people into different entities. You should have a situation where our elders will be honored so you can keep that tradition going. Our current situation should be identified, good, bad, and indifferent. And then we should be talking about where our future is going to go. Never, hey, well, we need reparations. We do need it. But you know what? Why are we discussing it publicly? When if you are in a relationship or if you are married, you don't go to your friends and say, hey, or you don't announce to the public on social media, me and my wife, me and my husband, me and my significant other are about to sit down at the dinner table and discuss how I'm going to go into management tomorrow, how we're both going to go into management tomorrow and demand that we need raises. You don't. What you do is you sit down, you should sit down with your significant other, come up with a game plan, talk about the pros and the cons and what you present to these people. And then you go in and say, this is what I anticipate, or I'm about to apply for this position, or whatever your course of action to enhance your life. That's what you need to do. You need to keep it in house. And our community needs to keep it in house. And what I mean, keep it in house, I mean, if we want reparations, what we need to do is put ourselves in position so as we can get people to demand that. Now, well, if you don't want it, not a problem. Hey, if you think it's a stretch, not a problem. That means this conversation does not include you. I'm not trying to convince anybody about liberation ever again. Well, if rap, that's not going to work. God bless you, brother, sister. Salute. Talk to you later, because over here we're doing this. Hey, no, you're not welcome, because you're bringing negative energy into this. So you go over there and you figure out what you're going to do. And in the event that works with this, we'll work together. But if that doesn't work with this, then I'm not trying to convince you. That's it. Let's stop trying this. I always see everybody isn't against us. Well, if you speak up against me in any way, shape, form, or fashion without a solution to whatever you perceive as the problem, you are the problem. And that's how you win the race. That is how, I ain't going to vote. Well, you know what? I know people that complain about the electoral system, but the only way you fix it is to be a part of it. I see rich people, they buy their politicians. Do you really believe if we formulated enough money you think we can come up with enough money to get bigots to vote in our favor? No. So you have to buy the people, then put them in office so then they can do your bidding. See, it's easy to sit around and regurgitate foolish facts and unsensible nonsense to try to make yourself sound smart. But In order to buy a politician, you must have that politician in alliance to what you think and how you think and what your end goal is. They don't have to be your friend, but they also have to respect you and see you as human. Otherwise, we're just gonna stick with the biggest who keep winning, and then we're gonna ignore you. So if you, oh man, child support be tripping, this is nonsense. Well, you need to make sure you voted for somebody who's trying to re-regulate the child support system so you won't get screwed. Why is it that you want me to take, how is it that you want to take me to take care of my child, but you want to suspend my driver's license so I can't drive this truck so this child can be taken care of? Why is it that you want to financially cripple someone because you created a child? It is support. It is not me taking care of the entire family. So, and how about this? Then we can start talking to these young men about infidelity, about several homes creating, support for several different homes. If you don't want to be put in a poor house, don't create a house of poverty. Young ladies, if you don't want to deal with deadbeat men, how about this? Start talking to your mothers, your aunts, your grandmothers, and your fathers and uncles so you can understand the psyche of these men so you won't allow your emotions to draw you into a foolish pit of nonsense. See, these are the things that we have to do. And also fight discrimination, also fight against history, also fight everything that's been inculcated into us. And we're going to talk about those things so they're no longer just taboo to speak about, because we are up against a system that is designed to destroy us. You are outside of your damn mind if you disagree. And if you disagree and you no longer want to watch, I understand. There are literally hundreds of thousands of things that you can watch on YouTube, Apple Podcast, or Amazon Podcast, or wherever you get my podcast. You can go check it out there. But here, I'm talking about the liberation, uplifting, and empowerment of the Black community. And anybody who wants to be in allegiance with us, we're trying to help you out too, but we got to take care of home first. We are in a race and we're trying to win the race. We're no longer trying to make it a unified race. We're going to win the race and then we're going to look back and say, hey, you need help, we're going to help. You need help, we're going to help you. But we got to get ourselves situated first and foremost. I am no longer being apologetic about loving this damn skin that I sit in. And if you have a problem with it, hey man, sucks to be you. And that's just the bottom line. We are in a race and we're trying to win it. We are in a race and we're trying to win it. The only way we could win it is to know our worth. How is it that good sister, that I'm put up on the screen again, this good sister right here, Amanda Seals, busted her hump, arguing and debating with people about the beauty of being Black and the tyranny that we face and the discrimination and the denigration that we've received. And this is what is hindering, not stopping, not ending, hindering our progress. If you don't know my history, don't tell me about my history. And guess what? What we have to do, once you know your worth, you will know that sister shouldn't have had to defend our community to anyone. And if she does, and if she chose to, God bless her. But guess what? She could have used that good energy towards uplifting us in another way. See, I'm not trying to convince somebody who disrespects my past, because you know what? If it was a rape victim, you wouldn't treat her like that. Nobody treat any other cultures like that. But hey, see, this is what y'all problem is. Now, you don't know my damn problem because you're not living in my problem, and don't discuss my problem or you're going to have a problem. And take it how you want to take it. Take it in blood. I don't care. But I know how valuable I am. I know some of my ancestors were brought over here in the bottom of ships and treated like livestock. I know that. I know it. And I know it's some of us that are claustrophobic and germophobic and all kinds of phobias that persist in my community and abroad because of the treatment that we received for the last 400 years. So don't tell me what I should and should not do. Or don't point to a group. If it's 45 to 50 million of us, or really, I think it's more 60 because we don't really participate in the census. Another thing we need to stop participating in. But don't tell me because you saw a sample size of people not doing their best that is who I am. That is who my friends are, my family are, the people who support this program. It's not who they are. Most people get up and go to work and don't even like the job that they have. They wish they could be doing something else, present company included. So when that sister Amanda Seals stood up for this, She did a bang-up job, but she shouldn't have had to defend us against people who don't like us. Who the hell? When you know how valuable you are, when people disrespect you, you can either physically get with them, you can verbally get with them, or you could do what I choose to do. You don't like me, I'm going to walk away from you. You will never have to deal with Brian again. Oh, I don't like HRap. I don't like Brian. God bless you. Please move to the side and let me keep moving. Because again, I'm in a race to success. I'm racing against you for success. I know my worth. I know that I'm an insanely intelligent person. I'm an insanely funny person. I'm an insanely empathetic and caring person. I care about my people. And can't nobody tell me this. I had somebody literally call me before and say, you call yourself so-called pro-black because I don't want to deal with them anymore. Now, the old Brian would have probably got physical with that person. But you know what? I walked away. I haven't had another conversation with that person since because you're going to say, I'm so-called what I am. And you don't even see that as disrespectful. Just because I no longer want to deal with you. I have people lied on me. I'm not defending myself against a lie. Are you outside your damn mind, black people? Why are we defending ourselves? We know what we've been through. And if you don't know, continue to tune in, subscribe, like, comment, and I'll continue to do my very best to educate you on the fact that we've had several thousand inventions, thousands of inventions that were taken from us. We've had hundreds of thousands of acres of land taken from us. We've had towns flooded and buried. We've had people murdered. We've had churches blown up. And you think, do you really believe that that doesn't have an effect on other people in our community, people who might want to step up and organize the community, but then you don't think that's in the back of their mind? They killed Fred Hampton. They ran Stokely Carmichael, a.k.a. who commonly known as Kwame Ture. They ran him out of the country. You went into, you blew away a guy who spoke about nothing but unity and nonviolence. You killed him right on the balcony of a hotel. You sent somebody in a ballroom, Audubon ballroom in New York City and Harlem, New York, and had this dude shot in front of his children. You don't think that has an effect? But you can go to war. You don't think that has an effect on everybody that was in that ballroom, especially his children, especially his wife who was carrying children who didn't even exist? You don't think that stress, trauma, and anxiety went right inside those babies? You don't think the fact that every time somebody in this community has stepped up and tried to just make peace and be better, they have been murdered? You don't think that has an effect? Generation after generation after generation after generation, then that means you don't think I'm a human being. And if you don't think I'm a human being, to hell with you, because I know I am, and I know I'm a wonderfully gorgeous inside and out individual and human being. And the people who are connected to me, my community, we are wonderful people as well. And guess what? The people who you even say, hey man, see, that's what's wrong with the community. They wonderful too. They're just wayward. They have just stepped off the path. Because you know what? There's a bunch of people who stepped off the path and they're wonderful now. What we need to do is start wrangling those people who come off the path and then put them on the right path, or let them be astray because they may poison the fray. That's the only way we can handle this. And the only way we can do that is to identify our worth. We come from inventors. We come from scientists. We come from lawyers. We come from doctors, nurses. We come from inventors. We come from every walk of life. Hell, we come from criminals. We come from backstabbers and betrayers. We run the gamut. But by and large, for the most part, if you took us in a pile, most of us will come out shining like gold. And if you don't believe that, that's fine. I'm not here to convince you. I'm here to remind my people that we don't have to. Would you convince somebody that you, if you have a significant other, what if somebody walked up to you and said, you don't really love her? Would you waste your time saying, or him? Would you waste your time saying, yes, I do? You don't love your wife? 2 fingers, 1 word, I'm out. I wish I would explain to you anything about me. You have people sitting up debating with racists about how glorious we are. First of all, you've reduced yourself at that moment. I wish I would try to convince you of anything about me and my people. Oh, well, that was a long time ago. Everything was a damn long time ago. The future don't even exist. Only thing that exists is right now, and the past already happened. But you are affected by the past, and that's what's going to determine what you do in the future. Yes, I know people who have grown up in drug-infested homes and grown up, and they are millionaires right now. But more times than not, that's not going to happen. That's not going to happen. So it's going to take HRap, and HRap's lady, and HRap's sister, and HRap brother, and HRap son, and HRap daughter, and HRap grandkids, and HRap friends, and the people who support this program. We're going to have to come together, and we're going to have to work in regards to fixing people, fixing our community, because you are outside of your damn mind. If you think you're going to convince something, think about it, man. If somebody think you're a thief, you think you can talk them out of thinking you're a thief, what are you going to say? And, oh, yeah, I never looked at it that way. And they're going to walk away and still have a monicum of doubt in their mind. It's not going to go away. That's why it bothers me so much when people lie on me. Because even when the truth comes out, even when the truth shows up, that piece of doubt will sit there. And if anything remotely resembles that accusation, all that doubt returns. So my name is fragile. No, I mean, I'm strong. No, my name fragile. Because any chink in it could mean the decimation of my reputation. Why do you care what people say about you? Because that's what reputation and character is for. What people say about you when you're not around. Because that slows down progress. Am I going to miss any sleep? No, but it slows down my progress. Instead of taking 10 steps to success, it's going to take me 25 steps. I don't need that extra, the other 15 steps that I'm taking could have been used for something else. So that's why I care if you try to disgrace my name or put a blemish on my reputation. I do a bang up job at breaking any doubt about me on my own. I don't need any assistance. You want to help me? Give me some bread. Give me some assistance in this mission. Know your worth. Explain it to somebody why you're valuable. You are outside your mother freaking mind. I'm going to show you right here. This is how I'm going to show you this. And then I explain why I'm showing it to you when I come back. This is a great piece of information. I'll be back shortly. Let you check it out.
From historical roots to modern day demographics, the Black community has played a vital role in shaping the cultural, social, and economic fabric of this country. Today, our total population stands at almost 48 million. But which states do most of us call home? In this Black Excel List video, we will highlight the Black population and presence in each state. So without further ado, let's get started. At number 51 is Wyoming. Wyoming's Black population is the lowest in the country due to its historically limited economic opportunities and small overall population. At number 50 is Montana.
What I'm going to do right here is I'm going to fast forward this because I want you to see where our power stands. Together, united we stand, divided we fall. This is what I want you to understand. If we are in abundance, we will dominate. Look at where you are in this country, and then you'll be able to determine what your fate is. Now, look at this. When you see,
but which states do most of us call home? In this Black Excel List.
When you see this, you'll see that we have power in numbers, and the numbers dictate where our power is. And if we start,
and some of the challenges,
we start looking at the power that we have, then we will be putting ourselves in a position to win at all times. You will see exactly what I'm talking about as you see this video.
Challenges they face with attracting Black residents. Now it's time to see how the top 20 pan out.
You'll see the top 20 states.
Indiana's Black population is below the national average, with the largest communities in Indianapolis and Gary, due to its challenges with racial disparities in education and economic opportunity. Missouri lands in the top 20 due to the significant Black communities in St. Louis, Kansas City, and Columbia. The state has a complex racial history, but it
due to technological inequities, what I want you to do, technology is failing me on this. This is why I want you to go and watch that video right here at www.theendofthebench.com, www.theendofthebench.com. You can watch that video in its entirety. It gives the creator black excellence and abundance, those people over there doing excellent work. I want you to go check it out over there. Technology failing, and that's what technology does from time to time, and that's why you have to be able to adjust on the fly. As you see, St. Louis has a significant amount of black people. Louisiana is 60% black. Alabama, Mississippi, Georgia, South Carolina have a tremendous amount of black people in it. If we start participating, I forgot to mention Texas is the #1 state in regards to black population. Get this, as racist as the political parties are in Texas, do you understand 60% of the population, 60% of the population is non-white. If 60% of the population in that state is non-white, but 80% of those 60 don't go vote, what good is it doing having the numbers? If you don't want to be discriminated against, if you don't want to have racism take control of your area, why don't you, again, participate? And then once you participate, you'll have the power. Once you have the power, you must then legislate in your favor. If people want to do it for free? No. Politicians are bought and sold every single solitary day. But I want you to understand is this. When you know your worth, remember, that's what I just said. That was the last piece. Knowing your worth, then you know the powers and the numbers. And then when you got the numbers, then you have the funds. When you have the funds, you buy your way into power. You buy your way into power, you have power, and then you distribute that power equally, and then you make it a fair race. Then it's a fair race. Then it's a fair race. And then at that point, you'll know why you never have to explain anything that you've going through, or have been through. That's it. I'm not explaining a damn thing. Why do I love my people? Because I grew up with this thing called a mirror, that every time I went to the bathroom and I walked past the door or on the back of my bedroom door, it was a mirror. And I saw myself, and I liked what I saw. And I saw my parents, and I saw my grandparents, and I saw my friends, and I saw the young ladies in my community, and I saw the brothers in my community, and I loved them. And I made hundreds of friends, literally hundreds of friends. You can't go anywhere in any part of town in Chicago, and you're not going to run into somebody who greet me with nothing but respect and adoration. When I drive down the street, I've had people ride down on me. I don't mean nothing by this. And it was a young man who did it last. Hey man, I told him, hey bro, I don't have no enemies. I don't have any enemies. What's good? And we chopped it up for a second and we kept it moving. And that's how Chicago is. And that's how the world is for me. I don't have any enemies. So guess what? I don't have to explain anything, because my character speaks for itself. And the character of this community speaks for itself. The fact that we don't hate, the fact that we don't walk around bitter, the fact that we don't want to kill and destroy everything in our path, lets you know that we're supreme to anybody that walks this earth. And I mean that. If you black and in these United States, if you black and been through this enslavement experience in the Western Hemisphere, and you ain't walking around angry, ready to destroy, you're better than most people. Because most people, when you anger them, they want to destroy you. We don't want to destroy anybody. We just want to be left the hell alone. So why would you explain why you need this and why you want these things to stop and why this should happen? What you do is come together, make it happen, and keep it moving. Never explain why you've been mistreated, and history shows you this. Oh, well, see, you should have gotten past that. You damn right, I'm going to get past you. Excuse me. That's what you do. You sitting around explaining to somebody who treated you like trash, who burned your towns to the ground, who treated you like you were not worthy of humanity. And you actually sit your foolhardy behind down and try to say, see, this is why you shouldn't. No, they know why they shouldn't, and they don't care. And if you try to explain to them, they're literally laughing in your face as you explain to them how you're a human being. I got blood flowing through my body. I got 2 kidneys, a liver, a heart, thousands of arteries. I got a brain, and I'm insanely intelligent. That's why you should respect me. And if I was dumb as a damn rock, you still should respect me. I was created. You know, I was created by God. That's why you should respect me, because of this. That's why you should respect me. And if I have to explain that to you, you're not the problem. I am. Because I've taken time out of my life to explain to you why I'm a human being. Black people, we got to stop that. You don't respect me, get the hell out of my way before I hurt you. And I mean that, man. And I mean it. And I mean, if you impede my success, I'm going to have to impede your future. That's how we need to start thinking, y'all. A lot of us don't want to believe, oh man, it don't have to go to that. It doesn't. But if you stand in my way, I'm going to make a way so I can get to where I'm going. I am trying to win this race that you put me in, because race as a social being is something that was created. This race for power, money, amenities that are afforded to you by God. I'm not explaining that. I'm not explaining why I deserve that. Because again, if I can do this, I deserve the utmost respect. And if you don't give it to me, I'm forced to take it. People can, think what you want to think, say what you want to say, and live how you want to live. But this sister right here shouldn't have had to be on the internet defending our honor. Thank you for doing it. I respect you for doing it. I commend you for doing it. But she shouldn't have had to sit around in a room full of damn fools and explain why my people have gone through what they've gone through. Towns been burned down, towns been flooded, people been murdered, people been put in lakes. Hundreds of thousands of people have been murdered on a regular basis, raped. Men and women, children have been kidnapped. And you want to tell me what I should do and I should get over it? I step over you if you ever say it to me. I will step over you if you ever say it to me. Understand that. And until the men in this community start feeling that way and stop mean mugging and walking around with a mirror in your pocket, practicing looking hard, it's never going to get better, because the men got to be the protectors. The women have to be the developers, and we come together and protect and develop our community, and we will be the wonderful people that God designed us to be. The caring, the nurturing, the developing, the leaders, the loving people. I said that already, that God designed us to be. If you don't stop trying to explain why you are that and just do it. And if we slip and fall, reach back to a black person and lift them up instead of saying, you got a little spare change in your pocket, give it to the homeless man or woman or child. Don't judge that person, because guess what? By the grace of God, that could be your ass. By the grace of God, that could be you. With that being said, I want to thank you people for tapping in. See y'all tomorrow around 5. Me and my homegirl on the B-Tray podcast. Hit that subscribe, hit that like, leave a comment after the show is over. Tell a friend to tell a friend. See y'all in about 28 hours. 2 fingers, 1 word. I am HRap.
I often put it this way. In order for us to be in the state that we are in today as people, we have to be out of our minds. We literally have to be crazy. It is necessary for us to be crazy. It is necessary for us to be backwards. It is necessary for us to be maladjusted. It is necessary for us to be disunited. It is necessary for us to be self-hating. It is necessary for us to be filled with an inferiority complex. In a world where the European is essentially about 10% of the world's population, if that 10% is to continue to rule over the other 90%, it must keep that 90% out of its mind. It must keep that 90% in a state of deception. It must keep that